Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be taking a first look at Gold Mythic Thanksgiving Dale, who is going to be the Thanksgiving event character coming to RTS. This is an early look at this character. The event isn't going to be starting for quite a while because I do believe Thanksgiving's at the end of November. Anyone from America can, clarify for me. But this is an early look. We don't normally get character previews on Saturdays as well, so I'm actually pretty happy to see, how this actually goes down. It's going to be interesting. Visually, you can see on the right-hand side, I'm going to just say he looks like a carrot. Like, straight up, I just thought, why is he dressed like a carrot? But he's got some interesting weaponry on him. On the left-hand side, you can see it in a bit better detail. He has got the carving knife and, like a big fork as well, just to hold it in place. Now, I'm not going to call it a chicken. I did this once before with Thanksgiving. That's turkey, right? Yeah, okay. He's also got the gravy mashed potatoes by the looks of things. And also, is that like I guess, would it be a pie? I'm not going to try and guess what's inside the pie. But if we look in the background, you can see he's kind of like in his RV by the looks of things. I like the visuals actually quite a lot on this character. If we look at the stats, you can see at level 1,440, limit break 3, he has got 23,200 attack, 27,066 defense, and 27,066 HP. He is a strong character, considered a support role character, of course. He's going to be a Gold Mythic, and he will be part of the Holiday Heroes Allegiance because he's going to be a Thanksgiving character, which makes a lot of sense. Now we'll take a look at his Adrenaline Rush first, and it is called Pie Day. It's a 55 AP cost rush. 2 other teammates heal 35% of their max HP for 2 turns and get a Guardian Shield. A damage roll teammate recovers from all penalties and gets 100% attack for 2 turns. So I guess we're getting a kind of idea of what team this character is a support character for, and it looks like an attack team support character. Oh my goodness, guys. Oh my goodness. I've been saying for honestly months that we kind of need more of these guys, and it looks like we're getting one. This is kind of nice. This is just quite a basic rush. The healer is going to go to the 2 lowest HP characters. They're also going to get the Guardian Shield to protect them. A lot of the time it's going to be damage roll characters that have that happen. And in a damage roll specifically, we'll have all penalties cleansed. And that could be anything, stuns, anything like that. And they'll also get 100% attack for 2 turns. Now, the only time this wouldn't fully work is if a character had taunt or confused. They would already do a taunted attack or a confused attack before Dale could actually do his rush. But the next turn, they'd still have 100% attack for 1 turn, and you'd obviously be cleansing the taunt in that situation. So I like this rush a lot, honestly. It's nice for a support character. And if you've been using Kenny, you know what the 100% attack buff is like. If that's going to land on any other damage roll character, you're looking at huge amounts of damage output, for sure. Okay, so here we have the rushes up of a couple of characters. We have the rush up of Dale, which we will do first. And you can see that Titan has already taken some damage, so he should get healed and also get a Guardian Shield. The other healing Guardian Shield, I think, will be completely RNG, but it will go to Clementine, Glenn, or Rick in this situation because they have all got max HP. I'm not sure how that would actually work, whether it would just be random or it would go to the person with the lowest HP like Max. We'll have to see. But Titan's the guarantee. There we go. Now, Titan will also get the 100% attack because he's the only damage roll character in this team. If you did have like 2 or 3 damage roll characters in a team, it would be completely RNG where that 100% attack would go. Now, obviously, with Titan's rush, it's pretty decent. But with 100% attack on top, you'd see damage numbers from Titan's rush that you don't ever really see. I generally see his rush go to like 120 max or maybe 130k. But you just saw 200k there. And he's not even modded. He hasn't even got like that spectacular a weapon. It's just the 100% attack boost. If you've got a character fully decked out with like Paragon mods or another leader like, let's say, Trader, because he can give 50% attack as well, it's going to be very interesting indeed the amount of damage output that can happen there. Now, looking at the upgrades on this Adrenaline Rush, you can see at grade 2, it gets an upgrade where a damage roll teammate recovers from all penalties. So initially, it is just going to be an attack boost. But then at grade 4, it goes from a 50% attack boost up to a 100% attack boost. Then we move into the limit breaks. At LB1, it will go down to a 55 AP cost rush. So I guess initially it would be 66. But I don't think either are going to be too much of an issue. Obviously, 55 is just nicer because you're going to be able to get it quicker. You could potentially not use a weapon that has any AP on attack on it. He has got other parts of his kit where he's going to be gaining AP, as you've probably already seen. So not necessarily needing AP on that weapon is actually pretty decent. On the last upgrade at LB3, he will get another upgrade addition, and this is where 2 other teammates get Guardian Shield, and that will latch onto the heal, which will be on there already. So initially, it's just going to be 2 other teammates get healed for 35% of their max HP for 2 turns. But once he's fully maxed out at LB3, there will be a Guardian Shield for those characters as well, which is actually kind of nice. But again, not 100% required, but it is a very nice addition. Guardian Shields obviously do, one of 2 things. It stops someone from taking damage, and that can be from an adrenaline rush or a basic attack, but it also stops AP gain from any basic attacks, which is quite nice indeed. So I like this rush quite a lot. It's going to be enhancing a random damage dealer, basically to absolutely let them obliterate, and there can be some really good damage roll characters out there right now. This could land on Raven, the new Raven, and it will absolutely stack that damage up nice and easy. 100% attack on her rush, on her signature move. Yes, please. And this rush is going to go off very quickly as well, just based on other parts of Dale's kit. So, he's going to be able to get the heal off nice and early. That's going to be good because obviously some characters do take early damage. But that damage boost is just so good. It's just so good. And if you team him up potentially with a command, you can kind of have certain characters rush very early on in the fight, just because he's going to be rushing naturally very early on in the fight. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what people can come up with here. Now, the next part of Dale's kit is going to be the signature move. It is called Dinner's Ready. It has got an initial cooldown of turn 1, cooldown of 2 turns, number of uses unlimited. Now, there's 2 parts to this, as much as it looks like there's more, but there's 2 parts. The first part is 4 other teammates get elusive and camouflage for 2 turns. And the second part is all holiday heroes recover from attack down and get 100% attack down resistance for 2 turns. This is obviously kind of, just kind of okay. This is a support character, so he's just going to be mainly doing things for other people. It is a little bit of a disappointment that he's not getting any camouflage because he needs to get it to really get the best out of camo there. But the elusive is really good, as he can do that off of turn 1. If you don't know how elusive works, basically, if you get attacked or you do attacks, you will obviously give away AP on basic attacks. But if you have elusive on you, you don't give away AP, whether you're attacked or you actually do attacks or rushes. That's actually really, really good. But the camo, he still needs to get camo himself. So that's the only missing bit on that kind of recipe at the beginning. The second part's just kind of like a nice little bonus. There isn't too much attack down other than, I think it's like Rosie. I think she is pretty hefty, though. I'm going to be honest. It's like minus 75% attack down. But other than that, I think it's maybe, is it Barker lead? That's pretty much it that I can really think of. There might be like one other random character that does attack down, but it is just a nice little bonus. It's only going to be to holiday heroes, though. And generally speaking, that would primarily be characters like Easter Eva, as damage roll characters. Potentially new slasher beta when you get your hands on him. So it's only going to be a couple of characters, who are actual damage, dealers on those attack teams. Okay, so I'm going to be attacking, and here off of turn 1, you can see I got some focus on my attack team. And because Rosie is on the defense team, I have got some attack down on my characters. I'll just do the signature move of Dale here. And you'll see the attack down gets removed from Herschel, and he then gets attack down resist added. This is because he's a holiday hero. It would have happened to Titan, but Titan is in NWO, so it doesn't actually occur. But you can see all of the other characters other than Dale have elusive, and they also have camouflage. Now, how elusive works is, how I said before, I'm going to attack this character here. The only reason I'm attacking this character, and I took in Lily, is because she's got a turn 2 signature move, so she will do a basic attack. If I do a basic attack against her, we do pretty decent damage, 5k. That's enough to gain AP, and she's still very low AP. If we do some more damage, 12k, big hit. Look at her AP, it's still all the way down the bottom. Now, I'm not going to continue attacking her because I will take her out. And we're going to see her hopefully attack someone that isn't Dale. And again, she won't gain any AP as long as she doesn't attack Dale, which she potentially could. There we go. She attacked Glenn, and look, she didn't gain any AP. This is exactly how elusive works. And this is basically going to stop characters from gaining AP from basic attacks. You did see Wang Fa do a signature move, and that obviously still worked when it comes to actually gaining the AP in that situation. Now look at the upgrades on the signature move, and you can see at grade 3 it gets an upgrade where all holiday heroes get 100% attack down resistance for 2 turns. So initially it is just going to be an attack down cleanse, but then they get the resistance added on. At grade 5, plus 2 elusive and camouflage targets. So initially it's just 2 teammates other than Dale obviously get camo and elusive, so it's going to be upgraded to 4 at grade 5. And then limit break 2, it goes down to turn 1. Kind of expected that we're going to have a starting cooldown reduction down to turn 1. Probably LB1, LB2, LB3 I was guessing. And it's going to be LB2. The LB3 upgrade on the rush, like I said, isn't required, so you don't necessarily have to get Dale to LB3 to be usable as a support character. Generally speaking, you don't always have to get them as high tier to be good. It's based on certain upgrades within their rush, within their signature move, and obviously passives, which we'll look at in a second. But I'd say grade 2 is quite important here to get the best out of this signature move and honestly Dale in this situation. The elusive here is the main thing. You know, reducing the AP gain on the enemy is actually a big deal, where you're going to stop them from doing rushes. They're going to be relying on second signature moves, which take, 2 turns to cool down. So they'll fully be relying on signature moves at that point. It's actually very powerful indeed when it comes to that side of things. But overall, I think this signature move, like I say, is just kind of so-so. It isn't a world beater. The rush is obviously more powerful than the sig here. But I will say the passives are very nice. So let's move on to those. And here are those passives, and I've dragged it down because I wanna have the next passive be revealed when I say it because it's that good. Thanksgiving Dale's Mythic Abilities. The first one is going to be Cunning because he is a support character, and obviously when he's a support character he's not going to proc weapons when he gets attacked or when he attacks. Now he's not going to actually attack too often. He's either going to be doing his signature move or rush most of the time because of his specialist skill. So this isn't that amazing, honestly, but it will stop him from being potentially on attacked. Basically, I think he might have been better as a tank, but I don't even know really. I don't think it makes that big a difference. Other than that, he maybe a medic because he does a little bit of a heal, but otherwise it's no big deal. If we look at the next one, Well Fed, 100% AP drain resistance. This is actually pretty good, because there are quite a lot of AP drain characters that got released with the AP drain over multiple turns. And Dale resisting this is going to be quite important because he does have AP gain within his kit. He does have, obviously, nice rush. Even if other characters do have it hit them, if they have 100% attack, their signature moves and their basic attacks will still do pretty significant damage. Now, the next passive I was very happy to see, and it is Full of Strength. All strong teammates get 30% attack. This is going to be like these ones we've been seeing for these defense teams, where it's like all alert teammates get 30% defense, or all fast teammates get 30% HP. Now we get one for an attack team. All strong teammates getting 30% attack is beautiful, especially as he's a strong character. Could put him in a full strong team. You could potentially even use a strong attacks weapon, but I'm going to say you're not going to use a strong attacks weapon on this character or on the team that he's in, because we'll see in a little bit why. But that is a very nice boost. Remember that upgrades on the actual team screen initially before the fight. This does not work as a speech bubble buff, so it stacks with those speech bubble buffs in the fight. The last one is called Keep Them Happy. At the start of each turn, 100% chance a random teammate recovers from all penalties. This as well is really, really, really good, because it's always going to land on someone who is affected by something. So let's say you have one character just get stunned. It's always going to be that character that just cleanses it. This is so good, and it should potentially happen, and we'll check this out. It should potentially happen before things like Taunt and before Confuse go off on the turn. I think this should cleanse them before that happens. So let's actually test that part out. Okay, so we're going to limit the RNG just a little bit, just basically because we're going to see how this, technically works. We have got a Jesus on a defense team who has got a turn 1 taunt on damage roll characters. We have only got one damage roll character. So we're going to see, will the taunt come in from Jesus onto Beta? And then will Beta have it cleansed before he actually attacks Jesus? It's quite important. Attack's going to come in. And then the cleanse is going to come in before the forced attack comes in. This will work the same way with Confuse, where if he was confused, he wouldn't just like randomly attack a teammate or the enemy. The cleanse will happen first. This is actually really important and very good indeed. Now go into the upgrades here on the passives. You can see the first half of Well Fed comes in at grade 1, where he gets 50% AP drain resistance. At grade 2, the first half of Cunning comes in with the weapon effects reduction chance. And then at grade 3, the second half of Well Fed comes in, making it 100% total AP drain resistance. Then we have grade 4, full of strength. All strong teammates get 15% attack. And then when we move on to grade 5, it's the first half of Keep Them Happy. At the start of each turn, 50% chance a random teammate recovers from all penalties. Then we'll move on to the limit breaks. We'll have Cunning 2 coming in, stacking up, making it a 30% chance. Then we have Limit Break 2, Full of Strength 2 comes in, making it a 30% attack boost to all strong trait characters on the actual like team build screen, which is obviously great. And then at Limit Break 3, we have Keep Them Happy 2 come in, making it a 100% chance a random teammate recovers from all penalties. Again, the guarantee makes that really, really nice. I like these passives actually quite a lot. I think obviously Full of Strength and Keep Them Happy are the ones that stand out the most. Really good support role passives here. One's boosting attack. Again, I've talked about it in the past. We don't have too many characters on attack teams that actually boost their teammates' offensive capabilities. Dale is doing this on these passives, which is great. And then we have that second one, which is that like someone else is getting fully cleansed. I love this a lot, honestly, as a support character. And I think this guy is going to work extremely well on a lot of different teams. Now, you probably noticed it proccing during the video, and it is going to be his specialist skill, which is amped, which is very nice. And this is why he's not going to be doing basic attacks too much, because he'll do his signature move turn 1, rush turn 2, and then by turn 3, he should have his APs, start regaining already, where he potentially either has to do his signature move again, where I think it comes in at turn 4. So he might have to basic attack first time on turn 3, which is kind of strange. He gains 50% of his max AP whenever he has 100% HP. Now, obviously, if he just loses one, point of HP, this is not going to happen. But on the first turn, when you start the fight, he instantly gets it, unless someone comes in with some sort of like early fight damage on a leader skill or something down the line. But otherwise, this is going to work very nicely indeed. If you've seen it on Easter Eva, you understand completely how this works on an attack team. Now, the next part is going to be very juicy, no pun intended, when it comes to the actual weapon, because it's his Thanksgiving Dale's Knife and Fork. It has got 40% HP, 35% defense, exhaust cleanse at the start of every turn. A single teammate recovers from exhaust. And then in the 4 slot, it has a unique upgraded special, improved strong attacks. At the start of each turn, all other teammates get 15% attack for each strong teammate on the team for 1 turn. So this is really nice weapon. I'll go over the 3rd slot first. Cleansing exhaust is really good, because obviously exhaust is brutal, and it would cleanse the exhaust on someone like Easter Eva if you do want to use Easter Eva on a team with him. And she does get focused by, I believe, Jeremiah. But the 4 slot is really nice. The normal strong attacks weapon adds 10% for every strong character. This one is adding 15%. So let's say you had a full team of 5 strong characters. All other teammates, not Dale, would have 75% attack bonus. If you did Dale's Rush on turn 2, one damage roll character would get a little bit more damage on top, up to 100%. The damage output of teams, especially heavy strong teams with that 30% base on the passive, is going to be very, very nice indeed. Now, this doesn't have AP on attack on it, but he doesn't actually need it, so don't worry too much about that part of it, just because he has amped. So this is Gold Mythic Thanksgiving Dale, and I think at the beginning, a lot of people would probably thought he wasn't that good as a character, but I think by the end, maybe you're thinking he's a bit better character when it comes to how he's going to be as a support role character on an attack team. You can basically put him next to almost any damage dealer and they're going to get boosted, which is perfect, honestly, which is perfect. It takes up a slot of those 5, character teams, but it is making someone's already powerful thing more powerful, which is all over the place on defense teams. We see this everywhere. So many characters come in which do so much for everyone else and, buff this, buff that. Rick came in as a leader and he's just like buffing everybody twice, 3 times. It's just nuts. Whereas we don't have that on attack teams, and now we're getting a character that is doing that to a certain extent. I want to see more characters like this. I like the fact that this guy is more geared towards strong, but still decent for everything else. So maybe they'll bring out support role characters in the future for like alert, fast, and then, tough. And that would actually be kind of nice to have a bit of a variance in terms of how they work in their kit. Maybe there could be like a more control-based support character, that sort of thing. As long as they're actually bringing out offensive support characters, I think, attack teams have got a better chance going forward. Because before we actually got this info on this character coming out, it's kind of brutal. You've got like 5 individual characters trying to win against a fully fledged, team, which is actually brutal. Now, like I said in the intro of the video, this character is going to be a Thanksgiving event character. More info onto that to follow quite a way away, though, to be honest, guys, because this is a very early look at this character. So do stay tuned for that in the coming weeks. But basically a nice character to look forward to nearer the end of the month. I'm not 100% sure when Thanksgiving is. I know it's nearer the end of the month because it's generally around when my birthday is. But if you have any thoughts on Dale himself, please leave them in the comments down below. Visuals, kit, so on and so forth. I want to thank you very much for tuning in. And as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.